Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is James Jackson. If you're new here, I am a filmmaker, a cinematographer, and a colorist. And I just love talking about all aspects of filming. And if this is a show and this is stuff that you like, definitely hit the like button to help me combat those algorithms. Today, I'm going to be giving my breakdown of the Mavo Edge 6K. I know this has been in the news, and I just first want to apologize. I basically wrapped the project. I was using the Edge 6K, and by the way, big shout outs to Kinefinity for providing me that camera for the project. I'm in post of that project as well as in pre-production for another project. So there's a lot going on. But today I want to go and give a breakdown of those that video that you saw, which was the dynamic range, overexposure test. As you'll see by the settings, we're shooting in 3:2 open gate, 24 frames per second. This is ISO 800. And what is highlight control 5.3. And I think we should start off by explaining what exactly is highlight control. Now, with most cameras, when you move up or you move down in ISOs, how your latitude or your dynamic range or how it is distributed changes. Most notably, most people notice this in the pocket cinema cameras because Blackmagic provided it, but as you go up from the native ISO, your dynamic range distribution goes more in favor of your highlights. As you go down, compared to the native ISO, your dynamic range distribution is in favor of blacks and your shadows. And most cameras do that. My Canon C70 shoots, if you go under the native ISO of 800, you lose latitudes and roll-offs into the highlights, but you will get cleaner blacks. What highlight control does, it basically takes that binding that ties where your latitude is distributed with your ISO or your gain. So, and basically allows you to shift it regardless of the ISO you choose. Now, there is a limit, and we'll get into the limit. But that's basically the gist of it, is that you can basically tell the camera, in the Kinefinity cameras, you can tell the camera, hey, I want to basically keep the dynamic range. I want to shift it more to the highlights. I'm in a very high contrast situation. I need as much roll off into the highlights as possible. You can shift it up to, I believe, about 7.3 stops on the Kinefinity Mavo Edge. Or maybe you're doing, hey, maybe I'm doing a horror film, or I'm doing something where I'm playing with a lot of blacks and a lot of shadows. Let me distribute this latitude. I don't really have any highlights. I don't have to worry about clipping anything. So let me distribute my latitude down to like 4.3, and you can put more of your latitude in the shadows, making, even if you're at native ISO 800, it makes your blacks cleaner. And I love this feature because this allows you to see exactly how most cameras and how the relationship between ISO and highlight and your latitude distribution is, how it's related in a very unique way. So let's go into this real quick. So like I said, here is the normal here's the normal exposure with everything correct. Everything is looking right. So, but as you'll see, we're not clipped here. Things are not clear here. We still got we got a lot of stuff clean in the black still. And this is at highlight control 5.3, which is roughly where some of the more best practices if you got a pretty dynamic shot like this. Now the next one over is 4 stops over. And as you will see, this, like, as you can see, most of that back outside, like, okay, we're in the same spot with the skin, but as you can see, our information is clipped. It is completely gone. And this is 4 stops over. So something would tell you like, oh man, this camera can't do 4 stops over. Again, this is just the given situation. However, if we were to go, we can crank it up to 6.6. Look at this now. There's still a little bit of clipped information, but it's just like little here, and it's more specular highlights. And you can see in the waveform right here just how much was left where this was just completely gone versus this, which has a much more smoother gradation to the clipping point. And as you can see, the skin tones are still doing excellent. And I put 6.6. Now, I told you that it can go as high as 7.3. The reason why here is because there is a catch with highlight control. There's only so much you can push into your highlights before it actually increases the lowest ISO you can go. So in this case, for ISO 800, the most I can distribute to my highlights is 6.6 in the highlight control. And if I was to go higher to 7 or 7.3, then my minimum ISO value will go up. And you'll see, I think it's here with 7 stops over. I'm at highlight control 7.3, and my lowest ISO I could go is ISO 1280. That is the lowest I can possibly do. But as you can see, with 6 stops over, again, things are still clipped. But again, this is 6 stops overexposed. And this is recovering quite a bit. I don't see a situation where I will overexpose by 6 stops. But this just should show you just how much latitude you have to play with. Like, most of the time, 6 stops overexposed, the skin is pretty much gone, and it's not here. It's actually pretty well maintained. I got all this wonderful, beautiful skin tone. And then if I go to back before here, where it was 6.6 stops of overexposed, it still looks relatively the same for 5 stops overexposed. So at 6.6 stops, having about 5 stops of overexposure, that's pretty damn comparable. And again, it's pretty comparable to 6 stops with the 7.3. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this. Hopefully this was something informative to you. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely leave a like, leave a comment below. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, everyone.